and I want to talk a little bit about my last experience on stage with a piece called Momo Toto. Momo Toto, subtitled, or part of the title, is called Together Forever in Perpetuity, and it's a play that I conceived of, wrote, of course revised before the casting of it. And then once we got into the rehearsal process, a lot, there were some more changes, of course. Cut here, add this, subtract that. And it was one of the most, if not the most, no, check that. It was the most exhilarating experience I've ever had in theater, as a creator, as a director, and especially as a performer / actor. The play itself, as written, as conceived, as I conceived of it, was supposed to break these Stanislavski, maybe formulaic conventions. I wanted to break the fourth wall, where it was completely immersive between the audience and the actor. These are not new things, but I don't see them a lot when I go experience theater or go watch theater or am a part of plays. Most times they're very predictable, very conventional, formulaic, again relying so much on this naturalism, the naturalism of the Stanislavski school of acting. God, I hate to say that goddamn word. Stanislavski, there we go. And I feel there are limitations because my experience in Momo and Toto proved otherwise, that there were no limitations, that it was full creativity, complete theater, complete joy as a performer. Yes, as a director, 100% of the play, 10% of it is set in stone. But because of the trust between actors, what we created, the approach of not just the absurdist approach, because that's the type of play it was, but there was a trust between the actors, a play, sense of complete physicality, improvisation. It changed all the time. Of course, in rehearsal, it grew, evolved, and into performance, and especially in performance, it took a shape of its own, where the actors were front and center. The play, the creativity, the joy, the energy of it was unlike any I've ever experienced. And as a result of that, Gabriel played the other major role. He played Momo, I played Toto. We had others. We had new actors playing in major roles. And we have come together again, wanting more of the same, with the type of approach we used in Momo and Toto. We want to continue evolving as theater makers, as actors, as performers. It really broke limitations, that production, in terms of our physicality, in terms of our voice, in terms of singing, dancing, using every inch of the space, and that includes where the audience was sitting. It was on one hand very precise, and on the other very exploratory, which I think the best creativity and acting and improvisation comes from. There's those two things meet. And we are starting Poet Warriors because we want to grow this thing and share it with the world. and share other projects that we create, that others create. We want to build a school where we share this approach and teach this approach and show how powerful it is and how different it is from the age-old, I think very limited approach of the Stanislavski school of theater and acting. Our work is very much about character, working on character, a full character, very much about telling a story, shaping a story, very much about everybody having a say in a true collaborative sense, and proving that there are other fresher, more current methods of getting somewhere without relying so much on that psychology and inner work and objectives and all this stuff, which, while I'm not downplaying, I do think there are other ways. And our other ways are rooted in the physical, rooted in the sense of play, rooted in the actor's imagination, in the sense of doing, of behavior, working on tactile things, incorporating other aspects like music and sound and so forth and so on, that are just as effective as a Stanislavski method. I've done it. I've been there in dozens of productions. I trained as a Stanislavskian actor. I see how limiting it is. And I've been to the other side, and I don't want to go back to that side because I didn't feel as alive. I didn't feel the joy as I did with Momo and Toto. And I want more of that. And I think Gabriel wants more of that. And we want to share more of that because it happened and it was real and it was truthful and there was nothing like it. And we want more of that. Yet, we're not about focusing on success or failure. We're about the work. We want others to be about the work. We want others to dive in and be committed to the approach and expand on that approach, improve that approach, because we do think it is effective, highly theatrical, and highly worthwhile, and a new way forward in the dramatic arts. So we hope you join our journey. I want to continue it as a practitioner. I want to continue it as a creator, as a writer, as a director, as an actor, as a designer. I want to keep on growing and improving, and we look to do the same with others. Peace. Tasty.